Hey, this is Shark with SharkTrends. I just want to do a quick little video on how to use the opening range tool that I created. And what we'll do right now is just go to the charts. Basically, this chart right here, it works best on a 30-second chart. But you can use it on a higher time frame chart. Just keep in mind that it won't print until after the time frame is closed. So if you're doing on a 15-minute time frame, it's not really going to show up until that that 15-minute segment is closed. So the smaller the time frame, the better. So if you do it on a 30-second time frame, it's going to start on that first 30-second candle, and it's going to start printing all the way until the end of it. On a 1-minute candle, it'll start printing, but it might move. And on 2-minute candle, it's going to move for that 2 minutes until it finds a bottom or a place for it to rest. But anyways, what you're going to do is I already have these on here, but let me go ahead and just I'm going to delete them so that you guys can see. Just go into your invite onlys, click on open range gap fill. You can do it a couple times if you want, or maybe even a third time. You can stack these. I'm going to turn each one of these off, and then I'm going to turn one of them on, and then I'm going to go over to the time settings. The time settings are important, and after you kind of figure them out, after playing with it for a little while. But what you're going to do, this is mostly designed for the opening range, which basically is the first 30-second candle of open of the US AM session, which we're going to choose the prior day's close at 1600 hours. So you would choose today's date is 9/26 and tomorrow's date is 9/27. So you would choose today's date because we're going to do this for tomorrow, and then you would choose the 1600, and then you would choose the 27th and 9:30 for the open. Okay, now this is tomorrow, so right now, as you can see on the chart, it's starting to print the 1600 hour candle, which is close of today. So what I'm going to do so that you guys can see this is I'm going to change this to yesterday's date and then today, so the 25th and the 26th. Okay, and so what it did is it printed yesterday's close, because yesterday was the 25th, and today's open. I'm just showing you a day in advance, but for tomorrow you would do today's date and tomorrow's open. But basically this is what it is. The rule of the tool is that however far price gets away from the closing range is how far it's going to travel back in the morning to get back to it to basically clear the books. Now the bigger the range, the longer it's going to take for it to get back. It doesn't mean that it's going to get back. It just means that it can get back, and it has a high potential of coming back just by back testing this. But basically you would look for the high, like in this case you would look for the high, and you basically put your stop above the high, and the bigger the range, the smaller your entry of shares is going to be. So I mean, since this is a bigger range, so basically you're just going to calculate how big the range is, and then you're going to say, okay, well, I can't use 1 mini, because 1 mini times 1,257 ticks would be way too much, and it would stop you out, unless you have deep pockets. But you might take 1 or 2 micros, and you might be able to let it go for 1,000 ticks, which would be phenomenal. But the goal would be to get in here, put your stop above the highs, or if it was going the other way, the lows. And then you would get in, and then you would let it ride all the way down to your first target, which you would take 90% off, because you don't know if it's going to continue down. It's more likely to hit that 50% level than it is to hit the full target, which today it hit it right smack dead on, which is really nice for this big of a range. Other days it won't be this much range. So I'm going to turn that off, okay, and I'm going to go back, we're going to go back to the previous day, and then I'm going to, the previous day would be the 24th, and this would be the 25th, okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to go back here, okay, and then we're just going to put this on, we're going to put this on replay, and we're going to just watch it, okay. So we're going to push play, we're going to watch it basically print, and this on the 24th, basically that range was smaller, okay, and so where this range was smaller, today's range was bigger. So this range was $25. You can use more shares on a $25 range than you can a $340 range. So just keep that in mind. You have to monitor your size and your trade. It's your responsibility. But like in this situation, this would have been a really nice trade. It would have worked out very well. But basically the same thing here. You would put your stop below the last low. You could either choose here or here, okay? And so your stop would be pretty much 40 points. This might be a 1-to-1 trade, maybe risk to reward. But then the first target would be right here at the yellow one, and the second one would be right here at the red one. And this trade would be over in three candles, which is a minute and a half. So, and then also there's potentially another trade here that you can take it basically after it leaves that zone, like above it, you would just basically, you'd be done with the trade, but then you would re-enter here, and as long as it stayed above here, this would be a long. There again, you have to choose what your how much that you want to take above it. You know, for this is, you know, 40 points. I think 40 points is more than phenomenal. And then and then also it also came down and retested and even came back to this center line. And then if it's below it, it can bounce in between it until it breaks out. Here it did exactly what what I've seen it do, is basically it would get in here and chop in here, and then here it got above it, and then it was smooth sailing for the rest of the way. And as you can see, this just, I mean, that would have been phenomenal to get this here for 100 points. And then, you know, you wait for it to reverse. And then here's another back test. I'm going to end this one. Then we're going to go back one more day. So I'm going to put this at the 23rd and this at the 24th. Okay. And then we're going to go back again to the 24th. Almost there. Okay. And then basically we're going to hit replay. We're going to come here. We're going to push, let's do 3x for starters and go. And then as this prints, you can wait for the 9:30 open around right here. Okay, and then I'm going to pause it. Right here you can see that it started already. Okay, and you can see that, and actually what you can start to do is, you know that it's close, is you wait for to see where it's at, and then basically you look back to see where the high is. You already kind of know, like a couple minutes before, what the price is going to be, because you know, if you're getting in the market and you see that before market open, you can kind of tell where it's at. You can kind of get a gauge. Okay, this is a $60 range. This is 250 ticks. You know, and then you can look up here. Where's my last high? How high might it go? You can either go to the last high, which is here, which you would have been just right because you would not have got stopped out. I mean, shoot. I mean, here to here is 9 ticks, $2.50. But you know, you can go to the next high if you want, which is only $15, or you know, you can go all the way up to $26 and do a 1-to-1 trade for the stop, and that stop would be over this, so that would be a little bit more. Let me redo that because the green line is right there. So really, this would be probably here, $40 stop. But if you're doing 1-to-1 on, let's say 3, 4, 5 micros, 1-to-1, that's your stop, and this is your first target, and potentially 2-to-1. That's pretty darn good. And if you want to put the short tool in here, you can do it this way too, okay? And basically put your stop here, or even here, and it's higher than a 1-to-1 ratio, even to the very top of that, okay? And you know, so as this plays out, you know, I don't know if it's going to get stopped out. I'm just trying to catch the trade as it comes in, and pretty much take off 90% at the yellow line and take the full amount at the red line. And so boom, already hit the yellow line, and already hit the red line. So, and then the second part of the trade is what it does after it hits the red line. Does it bounce, or does it keep going? Because if it keeps going, here's the bounce. Okay, so here was the first part, retested and continued. It gave you a direction and kept on breaking down. So that was what the second part of the play is, you know. Okay, so I did this 3 times, okay, but I wanted to share another thing you can do is you can put on the colored VWAP, okay, and I'm gonna delete it and show you where it's at. You can put in colored. How about this? Red green VWAP, or maybe even colored VWAP. I just say red green is just all together, no problem. Okay, and basically above it is if it's above it, it's green. If it's below it, it's red. That's simple. Okay, you can also use the VWAP as confirmation on, hey, is it trading above the VWAP or below the VWAP as it hits this. Everything is definitely a clue onto what the market is doing. Okay. Another thing I like to do is I like to come over here and I like to grab my trend-based fib extensions. Trend-based fib extensions that you can do from low to high and to your center line. A lot of people do it from the point of control. I use this center line kind of like a point of control. Okay. And then if you want to get fancy, you can actually draw boxes, you know, and get rid of this tool. And I've covered that in another video. If this tool is not wide enough, you can change the fib extension to another. Like I have a template right now that it makes these bigger. Okay, and it did get rid of the center ones, but hey, if price goes down this far, I can see it, you know. And if it doesn't, then I switch back to my other one, you know. It's fine. I can switch back to my other one. Both of them are there. This got into a little bit of an overbought. Came back up. Still respected all of the areas that it should. Okay, still respecting that Aries. Another thing you can do, okay, just to let you know, you can also use this after the first hour. So if I turn this one off, I can turn this one on. I can have 3 of them preset right here. And let's see, what date is this? This one is 9/23 and 9/24. Okay, so this one here, if we were going to go the same date, 9/23, 9/24, instead of the 1600 hour, let's actually change this one to the same date, so 24/24. You can go from the open, 1 hour after open, and that would be 10:30, and you can make this one 11:30. Okay, and it'll start printing from there. This, you can use this tool in multiple different ways. Let's see, did I get my time? There we go. Okay, so I'm going to select the bar, come back over here, okay, and I'm going to push play. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to push play from here. And as this prints, it's got the close of that one. What are we doing? We moved away from it. We know that it's going to print another tool. Let me get rid of that. Hold on a second. Let's get rid of that. Okay, we know that since I did this 10:30 and 11:30, it's going to start printing here pretty soon, and it's going to give me another target to go to. Will it hit it? I don't know. But it gives you something to go off of. If it does, it does, and you just use the clues that are there. It's above VWAP. It's above this. Will it come back? This could be potentially a target if it hits it. There's no play, like, I don't try to grab this down to my yellow line. I only try to, if it's below my green line, I try to get it to my yellow line. If it's below my yellow line, I try to go to the red line. But we have to see confirmation going into it. Okay? Like here, I could use that to potentially go long, back up to the highs, or I can wait for it to come down. It's still of a VWAP. So use the clues. You know, also I can turn this one back on. Where is this tool at? I had that other high right there. You know. The other way that you can use this is, let's pause this, is that you can use it off of lunch session. So you can change, let's go ahead and close this. Let's go to here, with 24, and just remember that the opening trade is the 1600 hour of the day before, okay? And you can use all of them for that, but we don't know where the baseline is going to be, so we need to have pretty much one of them always have the baseline on. So that one's always has the baseline on. That way we have a baseline to go off of as price moves. This one, and we're going to do this one from noon to 1, which would be 1300 hours. Okay. And also another tip is put your chart on New York. Everybody across the board is talking about different numbers, different. What's the time change? What's, you know, just put it on New York. Everybody can be the same. Adjust. And let's see. Okay, so this is. I got to turn that on. Still off. Okay. So this started printing at at noon. Lunch is over. Okay. What did it do? It came back and it retested that yellow line. So let's go to a bar replay. Play this from here. Go. Okay. And basically it started printing there. We already have this for let's see what it can do. Got a VWAP here. There's always a chance it comes back to VWAP. We see what it does from that blue line. It printed a yellow line. It hit all three levels. And then let's see what it does. You know, are they small? Of course they're small. You just adjust your size. and then it also hit VWAP almost. It definitely touched the yellow line from there. So these could all be targets depending on how you want to do it. So I hope that you can understand you can use this tool in many different ways. You know, also, hey, you don't have to use the tool. Let's just talk about that. So I mean, you can set your fibs to regular fibs, and you can manually say, okay, 9:30. Where's 9:30 at? 9:30, and you can go to 9:30, and you can put that back to what you think the 1600 hour is. I don't know where it's at because I'm just guessing, but you can go back to the day before. You can go back to the day before, which would be the 23rd at 1600 hours. You can make your own line. So 1600 hours would be that would be Friday. So that makes it a little tricky. Let's do the next day. Let's do the next day. So the 24th. Let's do the 1600 hour of this day. 1600 hour would be about right there. Okay. And then you would wait till let's see, 24th. All right, let's I don't know if I could speed this up a little bit or not. But anyways, I got a line there. Let's make that blue so that we can keep this in the same fashion. We could even make this, and then wherever price is at when it hits 9:30, you would take your tool, and you would if the price is down here, whatever let's say this was 9:30, it's not, but you would take it up to the line, and then you would make sure that you use 0, 0.5, and 1 as your targets, and then this would have to be reversed. I hope that makes sense. This is just you can use this tool any way you want. You can use the tool. You don't use the tool. Whatever. Just looking for ways to give us clues on what's going to happen in the market, and give us some standards that we can make the best of our trades. All right. Again, hey, this is not trading advice. This is just the way that I use this tool that I created, and if you like it, great. I enjoy it. This has become my number one setup, and it has treated me very nicely. All right, that's all for today. Thanks.